Thanks, everybody. I think this might be about the fourth time we've done it since ECA started, and it's always one of our most interesting places to visit. I've been in Tasmania myself quite a lot, thinking about energy market issues, and I think it's really important those of us who visit from the mainland occasionally acknowledge and recognise that there are some very important and special differences in Tasmania, but also there's a lot of issues that are in common. So I just want to go, I think, to a few of those. So if I don't particularly pick up the Tasmanian context, I apologise. So at ECA, with all the activity that's going on around energy markets, and those of you who spend your life thinking about energy policy issues, there is a lot going on. So we try and organise things into really three ways of thinking about issues. The first is always affordability, and that's not a foreign concept in Tasmania. The cost of energy, the cost of heating in Tasmania is a particular challenge and is always one that is top of mind here as much as it is anywhere else. And we recognise that the Tasmanian government made some important commitments around thinking about energy affordability, but we certainly keep it at the top of mind in everything we do in ECA, whether that's engaging in revenue determinations, or in other policy processes. We're always reminding people that it's energy consumers that pay, and affordability is critical. The other area that really probably is top of mind, particularly given the question of interconnection in our system, is we also think about optimising. So what we mean by that is that not only is the grid supplied electricity or gas where it's appropriate is provided efficiently and at least cost, but also recognising that consumers are investing in assets. They're investing in solar, they're investing, or they in future could be investing in batteries. They certainly will be investing in electric vehicles. They certainly have appliances in their home. And all of those things create opportunities for consumers to actually be flexible in their energy use. So what we might call the demand side. So there's a new challenge, which now that we have variable, or will increasingly have variable supply due to replacing coal with renewables, we're also going to have much more variability, but in a positive way, with consumers participating in providing flexibility in their energy use and making that available so that when supply is limited, consumers are able to be rewarded for how they change their energy behaviour. And the last thing that we also think about, but last not least, is the notion of individualised energy services. None of this is possible if people actually have to sit by their appliance or sit by their solar system or sit by their battery and actually manually or in a very analogue way change things. So there's been till now a lack of convenience, an inability with the lack of technology or automation to make truly flexibility happen on a scale that we've never seen before. But to actually to go into that kind of world, consumers are going to have confidence and trust that the things they need, the things that they're doing in their home, are not actually, they're not being inconvenienced, they're not being overridden, they're not actually being automated themselves, that they're still making choices. So we think a lot about how people can be empowered to take control of their energy bills, to participate in energy markets and get better affordability outcomes. So those are some of the things we think about. We play all of that into, some of you be aware of, there's the integrated system plan that there's about to be a second version of that released. There's also the Energy Security Board is looking at post-2025 market design. And in all of that, I suppose we're bringing, as I said, those three lenses of affordability, optimisation and individualised to how those important policy questions are being resolved. So they're not just being resolved with an engineering framing or an economic framing and leaving consumers as a sort of side issue. So I'm conscious that we do have a main event here, so that's our sort of quick run through, I suppose, to give you a bit of an introduction to how ECA sort of thinks about these bigger picture issues. And Chris Alexander is our Director of Advocacy and Communications, and he's going to take you through exploring with the panel some very interesting and important work that they've all been doing, which all has a bearing on outcomes for consumers. So thank you.